It is time to inaccurately predict how good things will be in the Fractured and Alterac Valley set. We're going to start with Demon Hunter. We have Battle-Worn Vanguard, 2 mana 2/2. After your hero attacks, summon 2 1/1 Fellwings. I think this card is really good, especially considering that there are a bunch of 1 mana weapons for Demon Hunter that you can play the turn before this and get your even better Sharkfin fan. This isn't a pirate, so it doesn't have pirate synergy, but still good. Like better just because it makes more tokens. I think this card's good, and if there's a token Demon Hunter deck, which I think there actually might be this time around in Wild, this will go in it. Carry a Fell Soul, 6 mana 6/6, transform into a 6/6 copy of a demon in your deck. I do wonder, is this card good with just Pit Commander? That's the 9 mana guy that summons a demon from your deck. Is this good with just like this card and 2 copies of that? So you like play this, and then you go get a 9/7 taunt. Is that what it is? It's a 9/7, or is it a 7/9? I forget its stats, but it's pretty big. It's got taunt, and at the end of their turn, it goes and gets another big demon. So I feel like even if you're just going that route, this is good. But you could also go like this with the 8 mana Inquisitor that gets to attack again. It has Rush, and it attacks again at the target that you attack with your own weapon. So 6 mana 6/6 with that effect is also pretty good, I think. So if those are just like one or both of those demons is your only demons in the deck, I feel like this card is actually really, really good. I do wonder if this actually does have some room in Wild. Dread Prison Glaive, 1 mana 1/3, honorable kill, deal damage equal to your hero's attack to the enemy hero. So if you want to trade, you can still go face the Demon Hunter Dream. I think it's going to be hard to pick between this and the weapon that lets your that gives your minions kind of rush. Man, what is that thing called? It's a 1 mana 1/4 weapon. But yeah, the 1 mana weapons leading into that 2 mana 2/2 that makes tokens, they'll be good. This one's interesting because it allows you to trade and go face, but the True Aim Crescent, thank you. True Aim Crescent lets you trade more, so it has more board impact. This has more face impact. Plus, you have to do exact damage for this to work, so maybe the other one's still better. And there's also the one that draws a Death Rattle, so if your deck has Death Rattle synergy, you go with that one for your turn 1 weapon. And I think we're going to run Umbra in a token Demon Hunter deck, so it would probably be like True Aim and Umbra, or Death Rattle weapon and Umbra. So I don't know, maybe this one won't see play in Wild just because there are better options, but I could easily see this being worth playing. Field of Strife, 2 mana, your minions have +1 attack, last 3 turns. I think the effect on this is kind of nice. You play this on 2, and then you can play the 3 mana, make 3 rushing tokens, and then they trade even better the next turn. And then whatever you do the turn following, those will have +1 attack too. But the turn you play it is so bad, right? Like, you play this on 2, and that's it. It's kind of yucky. It puts you in a bad position. So I don't have a lot of faith in this card, but I could be wrong. These semi-permanent effects that your opponent can't interact with have to have some potential just because you can't interact with them. But in a deck that's built to take advantage of this, I feel like you can't afford to just pay 2 mana to do nothing. Flag Runner, 3 mana 1/6. Whenever a friendly minion dies, gain +1 attack. It's like Darkshire Councilman, but for Demon Hunter. I think Maybe Standard could play this, but not Wild. Flanking Maneuver. 4 mana, 4/2 demon with Rush. Flanking Maneuver. Summon a 4/2 demon with Rush. If it dies this turn, summon another. So this is like that Mummy for Warrior, except better. Because both iterations have one more attack, and the second one has more health. It seems really strong to me, but I don't know if it's the type of strong that will actually make waves in Wild. I don't know what the rest of the deck looks like, because I don't think that this kills enough things to make Urzel Horror cheap. You know, like, I don't know that this goes in the Urzel Horror deck, which is like a deck that a token Demon Hunter that makes Urzel Horror happen is the one that's gonna work. So I just don't know that this is fast enough or discounty enough for that, but it might be. It's a pretty decent card. Did I miss one? Yep. Killing giants on turn 4 is a nice breakpoint. You could kill a giant with this, huh? 8 damage is the amount. Interesting. That is a point in its favor. I think, like, you play this against Pirate Warrior, right? And you're a little sad. So, your best targets have 3 health. So, like, if you kill a cannon with this, cool. But if you're killing a 2/2 with it, you cry a little. But it does kill giants. Is it better or worse than Flanking Strike? It's much better than Flanking Strike, I think. Like, not even close. Kurtrus, Demon Render. Does anyone know, like, do you just get more 1/4 demons with Rush by your hero attacking? Like, if I've attacked 3 times, I get 5 of them. It upgrades the attack. So you get 2, and the attack gets higher. I see. Okay, that's interesting. Every time your hero attacks this game. So you've got yourself a mini Shaman Galakron with this thing. And what's the battle cry? It's like it Baku's it, and then after a friendly minion attacks, refresh. It upgrades the rush. It gets even rushier. I don't know. I think this card's good. I just don't like... Does it go in the token deck? Probably, because of this effect. But, like, you have to make the tokens and attack with them, and then have mana left over. Oh, I guess you have the, So you have the River Croc that makes your hero power cost 0. And then the problem with that, though, is if you have a token deck, that card is only good with Kurtrus. The rest of your deck doesn't synergize with it. So I don't know that that's worth it, but it might be. Like, build your own Beardo. I don't know. This card seems like a little less flashy than some of the other ones, but, like, Malfurion was one of the best Death Knights, and it was the least flashy by far. So sometimes just cheap and solid is really good for a hero card. I think this will find play somewhere, probably in the token deck. Sigil of Reckoning. At the start of your next turn, summon a random demon from your hand. 5 mana, Sigil fell. So this is like a one-time Skull of the Minari that can't be removed by an ooze. I think this will be good in Standard. Standard still has Pit Commander, right? 5 mana is a lot. Yeah, like, I just don't know about Wild. I think it's cool. I'm excited to play with this, but it does seem slow. It's a Void Caller that's guaranteed to go off, but it also doesn't put a 3/4 out, and it comes down a turn later. So I think this is a little hard to evaluate, but odds are it's kind of slow. I guess it gets replayed by that one guy. Is there something that, like, replays a Fel spell? Oh, Jace. That's cute. That is cute, actually. Urzel Giant. So, okay, I was saying Urzel Horror. I meant Urzel Giant. This is the spooky card, right? I don't know. It's really expensive, but like Demon Hunter has so many little rushy tokeny things. I think it might actually be good enough. So like cheap 8/8s and Lotheb is a proven strategy. So I'm suspicious that this card is good. It's like, yeah, it's Corridor Creeper, but like it's only friendly minions, which is a lot worse, but it's in a class that makes a lot of really easy to kill off friendly minions. So if you're building your deck around this in Wild, I think that getting it to 0 is probably a lot less hard than it looks. And not only do you get Lotheb, but you also get Mana Burn. There's a lot you can do in the Demon Hunter class if you can get a 0 mana 8/8. Anything that can cost 0 will cost 0. Yeah, true. I think this is the Demon Hunter card to look at as the new set comes out. Warden of Chains, 4 mana 2/6 taunt. If you're holding a demon that costs 5 or more, gain +1/+2. So it's a 4 mana 3/8. It's a pretty good rate for a taunt. The thing is, like, if you're gonna hold a demon that costs 5 or more, you're only gonna have 2 demons in your deck. You're gonna have the Pit Commander or the Inquisitor, and you're gonna have that 6 mana legendary. So yeah, even if you have 4, like even if you go the Inquisitor and Pit Commander route, I don't think you have enough demons for this to be reliable. Oh yeah, philosophy for more of these too. Yeah, it's true. It's true. All right, on to Druid. Capture Coldtooth Mine. 2 mana, choose one, draw your lowest cost or draw your highest cost card. When I first saw this, for a split second, I was super worried about Celestial Alignment, but if you're going to use this to tutor Celestial Alignment, you can't run Overflow, Ultimate Infestation, Togwaggle, or Malagos, or Mecha'thun. So you have to do it with Anacondra, and you can't run any of the high-cost draw cards. So is that good enough? I played a little bit of Anacondra Druid in Wild recently, and it feels like it's Celestial Alignment that can lose. once it's played, it's Celestial Alignment. So I don't know. I'm not too scared of this tutoring Celestial Alignment. But it is specific tutor from 2 directions. I think that if this isn't good when it comes out, it will be good eventually. At some point, this is going to be a broken card. It's just when. It also turns Jerry into a draw 2 card. It's a pretty expensive draw 2 card though, right? So like Jerry will add 2 cost draw 1 cards to your hand. It's kind of bad actually. So yeah, I don't know if that's anything. Claw Fury Adept, 2 mana 2/3 beast. Give all other friendly characters +1 attack this turn. Oh, it actually affects your hero too. I didn't think about that. This really is Mr. Savage Roy. I think this is a good token druid card, especially because, like, aggro druid is getting a 0 mana 4/5 this expansion. So it wants beasts. I bet this will see play. Dire Frost Wolf. 4 mana 4/4 stealth. Death Rattle. Summon a 2/2 wolf with stealth. Seems slow. Frost Saber Matriarch. 7 mana 4/5 beast. Cost 1 less for each beast you've summoned this game. So there are a ton of cheap beasts that aggro druid would want to play, and Spreading Plague is a card. So I think, like, and the glowflies are beasts, aren't they? Has Beast Druid ever worked yet? They've been trying for so long. I don't know that this has to be a Beast Druid card. It could just be a card that goes in other things. So, like, Glowflies making this cost 0 is ridiculous. Spreading Plague making this cost 0 is ridiculous. And then just,
Behold my gratitude.
hey, thank you so much for the 9 months, Easy. How are you? I think it's gonna be pretty easy to get this cheap. It's just a matter of, like, do you want a 4/5 taunt in your deck? And I think for aggro druid, yes, and for token druid, maybe not. This is gonna pop up somewhere. It's too easy to get it discounted with, like, 1 card. Frost Wolf Kennels, 3 mana. At the end of your turn, summon a 2/2 wolf with stealth. Last 3 turns. It's probably too slow. Heart of the Wild, 3 mana. Give your minions +2/+2, then give your beasts +1/+1. Oh, give a minion +2/+2. That is much less broken. So if this is give a minion +3/+3 and every other minion +1/+1, how good is that? I think it's pretty good. The thing is, like, oh, so this is good with the Glowflies, and it's good with Spreading Plague. It is not good with Whispering Woods. I don't know. I think this has potential. I don't know that it goes in aggro druid just because you have to run the pirates. You can't not run the pirates. And this has no synergy with them. You need this to buff your whole board. But in token druid, if you're running, like, if you're buffing your Glowflies or your Spreading Plague, I think this would be good. Pathmaker, 3 mana, 3/4. Cast the other Battlecry. Cast the other choice from the last choose one spell you've cast. So slow druid decks are out because Oaken summons, which means we're looking at getting a 2 damage spell from Living Roots, a 2/2 from that 1 card, or a Panther from Power of the Wild. Yeah, there's no. I think this card is decent. This is a very honest card. Like, if you rewind time and give this to, like, I don't know, League of Explorers Druid, I think this would see play and be a good card in those decks. But I think it's a little bit too honest. J Druid. Hey, Martian, did you see Meow's tournament? He had a very handsome caster for the first half. Not sure what happened in the second half, though. Hey, Hyperion. Thank you. Yeah. Pride Seeker. 3 mana, 2/4. Battlecry. Your next choose 1 card costs 2 less. I can only see, like... Oh, you know what? This lets you curve Nourish. What else is there? It's just your next choose one. It's not like your next choose one this turn. How important is curving Nourish on 4? Probably not enough, huh? This is interesting. I don't know. This is the type of card that makes me think it'll see play at some point, but it's hard to be 3 mana in Druid in Wild because, like, aggro Druid doesn't want to play a 3 mana card, and slow Druid doesn't want to play a 3 mana card. All right. Wild Heart Guff. This is like, I think the, I don't know. This is like the boring one that's going to be really good, in my opinion. So set your maximum mana to 20. Disregard that. Just throw that in the trash. Don't even think about it. This is just 5 mana, gain 5 armor, draw a card, and turn your hero power into life tap. Which I think is great for a Celestial Alignment Druid. Will this be on YouTube? Yes. Setting your maximum mana to 20 will be relevant sometimes, but I don't think that's why it makes it into the deck. So that does not say gain an empty mana crystal, which means after alignment, this is a free cycle. So you play this and just draw through your deck. So there's no downside to running it. You can use it on 5 to ramp into Celestial Alignment the next turn and gain a little bit of armor and draw a card. Or you've already alignmented and you're just it's not taking up a spot in your hand. You can just jam it. I think this, like, it's just like Malfurion. It's really good. It's really solid, but it's not very flashy. It's a 5 mana hero. It's crazy. Super cheap. You can Guff Coon after alignment. I think your maximum mana, doesn't that reset it to 1? No, your maximum mana is 20. How does that work with Coon? He doesn't give you 20 empty mana crystals. He lets you reach 20. Good point. All right, so your mana crystals are 1. So you have to actually gain the mana crystals to get use of this. So, like, it's something that's not going to be relevant most of the time, but it'll be a little bit relevant sometimes. Twig after Guff. Twig is gain 10, right? So that also doesn't really work. Omu gives 20 mana. Does it? I don't know that it does. All right, but I think this card's good. It's just not like, it's not the flashy part of it that's going to be good. Wing Commander Mulveric. 4 mana, 2/5, rush. Your minions have honorable kill. Summon a 2/2 Wyvern with rush. Isn't that really good? You have to have minions out. No, you don't. You make Wyverns with rush. This is just like a Pirate Warrior board clear, isn't it? Yeah. Like, you play this against you play this against Pirate Warrior or Shadow Priest or Glowfly, and you just get an easy clear on its own. Hey, Ulti. I have a confession to make. I have purchased Terraria 2 days ago on sale, and I'm enjoying it too much. I am worried from my Hearthstone account collecting dust. Aw, sorry, Lord Vasa. I'm not sorry. You should have fun with video games. Come back to Hearthstone when you're ready. How good do you think Honorable Kill is? I have no idea. Probably goodish. Not great. The Wyverns are beasts, if that's relevant. Oh, that is relevant. That matters for the cat. Discounting the cat to 0. I think this card's good. Shadow Priest doesn't have that many 2 health things, right? It's got the 3/2. It's got a 2/2, a 1/2. Yeah, I don't know. Seems good to me, though. Pull from Oaken. I'm not, like... I think you run this in, like, an aggro Druid. I think this might be good enough in aggro Druid as a comeback card. Oh, and you could give it in Biggin. I don't know. Does it work with Knife Juggler? Yes. Oh, you mean, like... Does Knife Juggler have Honorable Kill on his knives? Is that what you're asking? I would assume so, right? Deal exact lethal damage on your turn for a bonus. Yeah, it would work. That's cute. All right, on to Hunter. We have Beast Stalker Tavish. 6 mana, Battlecry, discover and cast 2 improved secrets. So we got deal 3 damage on Explosive Trap. Cost 4 more for Freezing Trap. 2/2 snakes for Snake Trap. 2 3/3 copies for Pack Tactics. 2 animal companions for Open the Cages. 2 more mana for Ice Trap. And then he's going to keep getting better secrets while he's in Standard, and that will be his improved pool. So if you compare this to Rexxar, you already have, like, better Rexxar AoE if you pull just this thing, and then you also get another secret on top of that. So I think, like, with that perspective, this Battlecry is just better. You won't always get this, but, like, you get so much more on the Battlecry than you do on Rexxar. And for Rexxar's hero power, his hero power costs 2 less, or, like, 1 less. So the hero power on this one is literally just Animal Companion. Like, straight up the card. 3 mana, get an Animal Companion. Exactly like Animal Companion works. So, like, if you compare it to Rexxar, like, Rexxar's hero power only costs 2, but then you have to spend all that extra mana on whatever the beast is in order to get it out on the field. For this one, if this hero power costs 2, you're only paying 1 mana to get the minion out on the field. So as a hero power, I just think Animal Companion is insane. Like, usually hero powers aren't worth an entire card, and this one is an entire card of hero power. Like, I went through and, like, looked at all the hero powers, and the only ones I could think of that are worth as much of or more than a card are Jiraxis, Gul'dan, and Gen Life Tap, and then maybe Frostlet's Jaina. Everything else is, like, not worth the 2 mana as a card. Whereas this is, like, I don't know. The Animal Companion hasn't been a great card in a while, but as a hero power, I think this is nutty. I think that, like, it's pretty good. So then we have to think, you know, what does this go in? I think you could put it in Even Hunter. I think this is just way better than Rexxar and Even Hunter. But you might not... it's just like you might just want to be pushing face at that stage of the game, and you don't want to have this in your hand early. So, like, does Even Hunter want a 6 mana finisher, I guess? If the answer is no, then this probably doesn't see any play. But if the answer is yes, then I think that we'll see this in Even Hunter. So the real tragedy here is these 3 guys. Those are Rexar's pets. It really bothers me. It really bothers me that they didn't reskin these. Like, why isn't Tavish using his own pets? Anyways. Bloodseeker, 2 mana, 2/2, honorable kill, gain +1/+1. So as long as you're honorable killing, this has unlimited durability. Imagine trading with Hunter. I don't see this doing much. Tavish killed Rexar and stole his pets. Oh no. Dune Balder Bunker, 2 mana. At the end of your turn, draw a secret and set its cost to 1. Last 3 turns. So it's 2 mana, draw 3 1-cost secrets. Slowly. I actually feel like if Reno Hunter ever came back, it could probably run this. But, like, not really. It just seems slow, and there are so many faster ways to cheat out secrets in Wild. It's not the best, but it's good. Yeah. Ice Trap. When your opponent casts a spell, return it to their hand. Instead, it costs 1 more. Secret. So this is like a better designed counterspell, in my opinion. Like, with counterspell, you lose the card and you lose the mana. And you lose the tempo. So you lose, like, everything. I don't know, maybe that's the same as losing the mana. Whereas this one, you'll only lose the tempo, you don't lose the card itself. So is fair and cheaper ice block, is that good enough to see play? Maybe. I don't know. Hard to say. I think this card's really interesting. I just don't know if it's good enough to see play. But effects like this have been good before, so maybe. I called it ice block. Oops, it's ice trap. Mountain Bear, 7 mana, 5/6, taunt, death rattle, summon 2 2/4 cubs with taunt. It is a beast. So there is a card that makes your next beast cost 2 less. So you can play this on 5. I think that's interesting. Like, you play one of these on 5, and then you play Kartut on 6, and then you play this again on 7, and then you play Jewel of N'Zoth. You'll have like a cube Warlock Hunter style. I think that's going to be fun to play with, but Mage is just going to kill you 3 turns before. Ram Tamer, 3 mana, 4/3. If you control a secret, gain +1/+1 and stealth. So this is a 3 mana, 5/4 stealth. If you played a secret that your opponent won't activate the turn before. And most secrets don't get activated for Hunter, because who would ever attack a minion? And they're all built around your opponent attacking your minions. So if this was just a 3 mana, 5/4 stealth, no condition, if you could just run it that way, how good would this be? I think the answer is not good enough. But it's a cool card. I could see this being really annoying in Standard. So we'll see. Revive Pet. 3 mana, discover a friendly beast that died this game, summon it. So you can run this with your Mama Bear, and witching hour your mom. You also get to discover it. So it's not like witching hour where you have to summon a sheep if your thing gets sheeped, or summon a beetle if you'd played Spreading Plague. You can choose to not get your low rolls. And you can play Witchwood Grizzly on 5 as like a 3/6 or something, and then get it back as a 3/12 the turn following, or get back 2 of them. You run this in Odd Hunter to revive Baku after she gets ratted. True. Witching Hour in Shambles. Yeah, this is Witching Hour, but so much better. The thing is, Hunter doesn't have Hadronox. I think this card is going to be fun to play with. I don't know if it's actually going to be good. All right. So you run it with Tavish. All right. You run it with Tavish. And then you've built yourself a better animal companion. It's Animal Companion, but you discover the Animal Companion. Terrible. Spring the Trap. 4 mana, deal 3 damage to a minion, and cast a secret from your deck. Honorable Kill, cast 2. Four mana, deal 3 damage to a minion, cast 2 secrets from your deck. Seems really good. And 3 damage, hits cannons, hits... It's like it, right? You know, like lots of targets in Shadow Priest, lots of targets in Pirate Warrior. The thing is, like, the deck that you would put this in is Even Hunter, and Even Hunter is an aggro deck, and I don't know that aggro wants to do this. So I think this card is really good, but it might not have a deck. I'm torn on this card because it feels slow, but it's also 9 mana worth of effects for 4 mana. Secret Mage. Stormpike Battle Ram. 4 mana, 4/3, rush. Death Rattle only. Your next beasts cost 2 less. Is there a better thing to do with this than Mama Bear? You could get a 7 mana King Crush. You could get a 2 mana Stormpike Battle Ram. Phase Stalker for free. Free Buzzard. Does give you a free Buzzard. 5 mana Owl. Oh, like the humongous owl? Having Rush on a Death Rattle is so Nazathi. I'm kind of excited to try like a slow Reno-ish Hunter or something. And just be disappointed when Odd Hunter and Sorcerer's Apprentice kill me far before I ever get to do anything cool. Isn't Loatheb a beast? No. That'd be pretty silly though. I think there's a lot of space to play with for this card. It's just like, are those decks going to be playable in Wild? So we'll see. Oh, Rhino. Yeah, no, there's a lot of cool stuff you could do with this. Wing Commander Ikman. 9 mana, 5/4. Battlecry, summon a beast from your deck and give it rush. If it kills a minion this turn, repeat. So it's like a 9 mana board clear, potentially. That gives you probably a board to work with. Imagine this in Druid. Just imagine. Imagine the world where this got released in Druid. Be disgusting, I think. A bit too slow. Effect's really strong, though. On to Mage. 2 mana, 2/3. Your next hero power costs 0 and freezes the target. This, like, sets you up. So it's like Glacial Shard, more expensive, obviously. But instead of, like, having to freeze it now and not being able to play it on curve, you just play this on curve and then freeze a minion later when you need to. How cool would it... it wouldn't work for Shaman. But assuming Shaman had access to Mage's hero power at the beginning of the game, how cool would this be for Shaman? I think, I don't know, maybe a Reno Mage could play this. It's an interesting effect, and I think it's probably a good effect. You hate this card? Arcane Brilliance, 4 mana, add a copy of a 7, 8, 9, and 10 cost spell in your deck to your hand. So this is like Juicy Psych Melon for spells in Mage. So big spell Mage. Meh. I don't know that this works for, I don't know that this is enough for big spell Mage. But if you ignore this 8, 9, and 10 cost spells, if you ignore it, this is an LPG tutor. You play this on 4, and then you'll always have your LPG on 7. I think that's the only way that this has any real potential to see play in Wild, but we'll see. Belinda Stonehearth, 6 mana, 5/5, draw 2 spells, swap their costs with this minion's stats. This card is really good for big spell Mage. The thing is, like, alright, so can you do dragons with big spell Mage? It's really hard, right, to do dragons with big spell Mage because dragons are so expensive. Like, I think Priest could have done dragons and big spells because all of their dragons cost 5 or less. They're like good dragons. But anyways, the idea is, like, you can play Dragoncaster and this, and then between the 3 of them, the 3 copies, you can, like, cheat out your big spells and stuff. But in Mage, you have to run really expensive dragons. So, like, your spells are expensive and your dragons are expensive. So if you cut the dragon package, what are you playing to cheat out cards? You could play that 7 mana, the 7 mana Dragoncaster that's bad. It's, like, slower than this. So I don't know. I think that this card's really strong. It just needs more similar stuff to go with it, you know. Inkmaster Solia? Inkmaster Solia needs to cost 6 too. Alright, build a snowman. 3 mana, 3/3, snowman that freezes. Summon a 3/3 snowman that freezes. Add build a snow brute to your hand. Build a snow brute is 6 mana, make a 6/6 that freezes. And add build a Snowger to your hand. Build a Snowger is summoning 9/9 Snowger that freezes. Pyros in absolute shambles. These are even elementals. They don't have N'Zoth synergy. So this is a cheap spell that adds a big spell to your hand. Is that ever a point in its favor for your big spell Mage? I feel like a lot of the big spell support cards want the big spells to be in your deck. And how good is cheating out a Snogre on turn 7? Not that great, I don't think. Pretty sure that you don't want to summon a 2/2 with N'Zoth. That would be why nobody runs Pyros and N'Zoth today. It was really fun back in the day, getting all that extra value. You summon a 2/2 and a 6/6 that adds more stuff to your hand. But we are past those days. This card seems too honest. I don't think you even play this in Standard, but maybe. Pyros won you a game the other day. Perfect. Pyros is back. Best card ever. All right, 10 mana. At the end of your turn, cast another spell from your deck. Last 3 turns. So, if this was like draw a card or draw a spell, your next spell costs 0 every turn, it might be a little better. But like, you don't even get to choose the targets. I don't know. This has got to be good with Dragoncaster, right? That's a lot of big spell cheating. So if you're playing this, you can't play a Mass Polymorph, and that's like the best new spell to come out of this new set. Like, you need to have control over when your Mass Polymorph goes off for that card to be good. 0 impact when you play it, though. Yeah. The thing is, like, at the are you talking about like my my one that I this one, or the one I was thinking about? Because like this one has some impact. It could get you like Khadgar's minions or whatever, or Deep Freeze or something. Ugh, sounds awful. This is too expensive, but like coming down on 6 with Dragoncaster, I think it'll be at least fun to play. I don't know if it'll be any good. Can be fun with Yogbox. That's true. You could run this as like a full memory Yogbox deck, where you try to play this and old Yogbox and new Yogbox on 6 with Dragoncaster. So there's that. This will be a fun card. I don't think it'll be a very good card. Magister Dawngrasp. Battlecry, 8 cost hero card. Battlecry, recast a spell from each spell school you've cast this game. So this is like, I think this is potentially really good. Like, if you run Ice Block as your only Frost spell, then this will always cast you another Ice Block. And then if your other spells are like tempo based, it's kind of like a free way to come back on board. Like, you get to like develop tempo and clear stuff while also hiding behind an Ice Block. I think this Battlecry is really good. No, not free as in mana. Free as in like you don't have to worry about your life total. The hero power is interesting. So it's just the Mage hero power, but if you honorable kill with it, the damage increases. And so when I first saw that, I was like, well, that stops being good really quick, because once your hero power gets to be like 5 damage, you're not going to honorably kill anything anymore. But then your hero power is 5 damage. So, I don't know. I think this card has a lot of potential. I could see it in a slow mage deck, like a non-LPG Reno Mage. I don't think you run any hero cards in LPG. I think that's not a good idea. But in a Reno Mage that like builds around this, I think this could be really strong. Maybe your arcane spell could be like if your frost spell is Ice Block and your arcane spell is Mass Polymorph, and your fire spell could be Flame Ward or First Flame or Second Flame or Fire Sail. I don't know. I think this card could be good. And yeah, it could cast Wild Growth again. That's true. Mass Polymorph, 7 mana arcane, transform all minions into 1/1 sheep. I think this is so funny because like we talked about this a few months ago. We talked about like if you were gonna print Mass Polymorph, how much would you cost it? And I think we successfully successfully predicted this. I think we landed on 7 mana was the right amount for it to be good. I think it's a good card. It requires like a non-LPG Reno Mage to be good though. Like LPG doesn't want to run heavy spells. It doesn't want to run any spells, but it has to sometimes. But I don't know. This is pretty good. We'll see if a Reno Mage can come out that this would be good in. I think Arena Mage would be okay, just not LPG, right? Exactly. Rune of the Archmage, 9 mana, cast 20 mana worth of mage spells at enemies. So this is better Yogg-Box because it costs 1 less, and because it only takes from mage spells, and because it targets the enemy. So those are all good things. I don't think this is fast enough for Wild, but I imagine standard players are going to be very annoyed by this. And this is going to be dominating like those clip YouTube channels. You're going to see a lot of this getting cast. 9 mana, cast 6 fireballs at the opponent's face. True. Shivering Sorceress, 1 mana, 2/2, Battlecry, reduce the cost of the highest cost spell in your hand by 1. This is like the best mage card in the set. What business does this have being so good? I don't think this is better than Drekthar in APM Mage, but like you play it in literally every other mage, right? Every other mage you play this in. In LPG, you get to play it on 6. In Secret Mage, you get to play your secrets on 2. So like Secret Mage has a second 1-drop now. Why is it a 2/2 when it has a Battlecry? Nobody knows. But like this is like better stats, slightly worse Cabal Lackey for Secret Mage. And Secret Mage has wanted a second 1-drop for like ever. So I think this just kind of goes in there, but it also goes in every other mage deck that doesn't want to play Drekthar. Siphon mana, 2 mana, arcane, deal 2 damage, honorable kill, reduce the cost of spells in your hand by 1. If it's not good in APM Mage, it's not good in anything. So if this is good in APM Mage, I think it'll be quite good. But otherwise, not so much. On to Paladin, Brasswing. 8 mana, 9/7 dragon. At the end of your turn, deal 2 damage to all enemies. Honorable kill, restore 4 health to your hero. There is like some big support for Paladin in this set. I don't know how... I don't know. Like, this effect seems really nutty to me. Like, you play this, and then you clear all your opponent's pirates 3 turns after the pirates killed you, and then you get to heal like half your life. So like this has some potential, I think. But it might be just like 2 mana too slow. Cavalry Horn, 5 mana, 3/2, death rattle, summon the lowest cost minion in your hand. This costs too much. I don't know why this wasn't costed at 4. Because like you have to play it. It's not Battlecry. It's death rattle. So you have to play it and then attack with it twice before it actually summons anything. So this cheats out a big minion on 6, which doesn't seem that good to me. But if you could play it on 4 and then cheat out a big minion on 5, maybe it would be good. So yeah, I think this is like 1 mana too slow. Dun Balder Bridge. 4 mana. After you summon a minion, give it +2/+2, last 3 turns. So you have to skip turn 4. Well, the effect is nutty. But, like, you have to skip turn 4. Any cute Paladin believers? Play this on 4. 7/3/0 cost minions. Then lose. Wait, so Barons gave us Rokara, Kurtrus, and Zyrella. Stormwind gave us Tamsin, Guff, and Scabs. Alterac is giving us Varden, Cariel, and Brukan. Is Tavish not getting portraits? Did they release the portraits? Hold the Bridge. 3 mana. Holy Spell. Hold the Bridge. Give a minion +2/+1 and Divine Shield. It gains lifesteal until end of turn. You think this will be really good with Samuro until you think about it for a second. It doesn't activate the Frenzy because of the Divine Shield. I think this is a little too... I don't know. So, like, we have 3 mana Divine Shield +3 attack. Is it worth doing -1 attack, +1 health, and lifesteal for a turn? Does that make this playable? Because the other one isn't playable, right? This is Samuro with Pyro. It is good with Pyro, but so was that other one. Is it Lightforged Blessing? Is that one though? The twin spell one that gives lifesteal. So this is something that's a good way to give Wild Pyromancer lifesteal that also works on things that aren't Wild Pyromancer. I think it's a little expensive, but maybe it's something. Lightforged Cariel. 7 mana, Battlecry, deal 2 damage to all enemies, equip a 2/5 immovable object. Hero power is Blessing of Queens, giving a random minion in your hand +4/+4. The immovable object is a 2/5 weapon that does not lose durability. Your hero power takes half damage, rounded up. So for the rest of the game, as long as your weapon isn't destroyed, you take half damage. I kind of like... I feel like this is all very defensive, and this hero power is very tempo-y, you know? I don't feel like they go very well together. I almost feel like the Cariel and Rokara hero powers should have been swapped. Like if Cariel had the deal 2 honorable kill, gain 4 armor, I think that this would be a nutty control card, but I don't know. This might be really good. Like it does a lot of stuff, and it makes all of your like little like Knights of Anointment and stuff. It turns them into things that are actual threats later on in the game. I think this has the most potential in like Libram Paladin. I imagine we'll see NZT play it, but yeah. You can buff the weapon. What weapon buffs are in there in Paladin? There's Greenskin and what? If you can run like the 3 mana 4/3, give your weapon a +1 attack. Yeah, okay, I guess there's like that. There's the 2 mana 2/2. Yeah, that's interesting. This is kind of like a Kingsbane that never goes away, isn't it? I think Guff is stronger, and it's 5 mana, not 7. Yeah, but you can't run them in the same deck. And this has more immediate like board impact. They're not like super comparable, I don't think. It's Kingsbane in the wrong class, true. Protect the Innocent. 5 mana, summon a 5/5 Defender with Taunt. If your hero was healed this turn, summon another. I actually do think there's a deck that wants this. the pure Paladin deck, you could play the Zealot on 4, and then you have the weapon to heal yourself and play this on 5. The problem is, like pure Paladin isn't a thing. So if you can make pure Paladin happen, I think this card is good. But pure Paladin needs more than just that. You could also, like, if you're running Call to Arms and you're running like what's the crystallizer-y guy? Kangor. If you're running Kangor in your Call to Arms pool, you can also Kangor to set yourself up for Protect the Innocent. I'm now very excited to try that. It's not going to be good, but like it sounds fun. Satan the Scarlet, 3 mana 2/2 rush. Whenever this minion gains attack or health, double the amount. You always run this in hand buff Paladin, don't you? You don't need that much. So if this takes a Bannerman and a Grime Street Outfitter, it's now a 3 mana 7/7 rush. Isn't that good? No, it's a 6/6. 3 mana 6/6 rush is still good. And then, like, if it, I don't know. I think this is good. Blessing of Might. Blessing of Potato. What's the other blessing? Oh, you can't give this charge, so never mind. I was thinking like you could run it with what's that blessing card that Inman used to run? The 5 mana one, doubles the attack. This with Librams? Does that work? I guess it would. Yeah, of course it would, right? I think this card's good. I think it'll get played in Paladin decks that buff stuff, which is all Paladin decks. Stonehearth Vindicator, 3 mana 3/1. Draw a spell that costs 3 or less. It costs 0 this turn. Can we ever cut all the 1-cost spells in Odd Paladin and run just Muster for battle? You can't cut like you can't cut Lost in the Jungle, right? Can't cut the side quest. I feel like you might be able to cut the side quest. Maybe not. Yogg, I think, is cuttable. I don't think Oh My Yogg is too good. I don't think it's even better than Never Surrender. I think Never Surrender is the better secret. What else? So even if this draws like Hand of Adal, even if this draws Hand of Adal, isn't it good? The thing is, like, so there's Tax Paladin and there's Odd Paladin that both like need to run secrets, and then there's Hand Buff Paladin. So this could get Crystology, which then this is 3 mana 3/1. Draw 2 minions with 1 attack, and you're already running 3 mana 3/1 slow version of this that draws 2 minions with 1 health. So that seems alright. This could get Smuggler's Run unless you cut that.
Behold my gratitude.
Samick coming in with the 6 months. Been watching you for half a year already. Let's get it to 1 year. Aw, thank you so much, Samick. I appreciate it. You're amazing. So 3 mana 3/1. Give your hand +1/+1 is probably a low roll. So if you're gonna run this in Hand Buff Paladin, I think you cut that. And you kind of want to cut it anyway. What else? So Hand of Adal, good. And then there's that like Righteous thing that like deletes giants. That's good. Does this go in Hand Buff maybe? This card seems great in Libram. So like you can discount your stuff down below 3. It's otherwise drawing Christology, Hand of Vidal, or the Libram. Maybe. Equality?
Behold
Sir
my
Spatula coming in
gratitude.
with the 6 months. Samex subbing reminded me to mine. Well, thank you so much, Sir Spatula. I really appreciate it, my friend. You guys are amazing. Think you want to tutor this in some OTK deck like Shirvala?
You have my
Ulti
thanks.
gifting out a sub to Morgloth and starting the hype train. Ulti, thank you so much for the many, many gifted subs. You're amazing. I don't know. This card seems interesting. I think this will see play in something. I don't know what, though. Templar Captain, 8 mana, 8/8 rush. After this attacks a minion, summon a 5/5 defender with taunt. If a big deck is good, it will play this. This seems good in a big deck. $61, Monka S. I appreciate you, Ulti. If I could give you double VIP, I would. Vitality Surge. 2 mana, draw a minion, restore health to your hero equal to its cost. Somehow I feel like I missed this before. But like, 2 mana, draw an 8 or 9 cost minion, heal 8 or 9 in a big deck? Play this, the Call, and Molten as the only minions. And Call to tutor the Call. Oh no, I missed Martian's card review. We're still halfway through it, and I'm going to upload it to YouTube. This card seems really, really, really good. Oh my goodness. If you have a Shirvala... If you're running Shirvala, you need Banker, though, right?
Thank you, mortal.
Aw, thank you, Mortal. Thank you for the 25 bits, Jam. 2 mana, heal 20. This seems crazy. I don't know. This seems good. I missed this somehow when it came out. Like, I'm sure I saw it and read it, but like it didn't register how the potential. I don't know. Big Paladin stonks. What is the win con if you clear the mountains if you have no other minions? I think you probably run the tutor thing and you run Vander, and that's your big Paladin deck. So that's how I'd run it. But I don't know. I'm gonna play with this. It'll be fun. We'll find something for it, I believe. On to Priest. Bless. Give a minion +2 health, and then set its attack to be equal to its health. Holy spell, 2 mana. So this is like Inner Fire, Divine Spirit, all in one card, but it doesn't double. I don't know.
Thank you, mortal.
Oh no, ulti getting scammed. Yeah, I think it only counts you once per hype train, unfortunately. You might have gotten scammed, my friend. 27 1 mana spells, this and Skulkengeist. Oh, you mean the last one? Oh, you can tutor your Skulkengeist in Wait a second. You can tutor your Skulkengeist in Yes Paladin. All right. Well, but you could have already. This tutors it and heals you. Even better. What if the only minions are Mecha'thun and Geist?
Thank you, mortal.
Oh, it does count for more. All right. Thank you for the bits, Salty. I appreciate you. On to the next hype train. Deliverance. Deal 3 damage to a minion. Honorable kill. Summon a new 3/3 copy of it. 3 mana. Holy spell. I think 3 mana, deal 3 damage to a minion, make a 3/3 is a good spell. Especially considering this could have a cool effect on it. The problem is you have to honorably kill with it in order to get any of the good parts of this. So I don't know. Like if this is 3 mana, kill a cannon, get a 3/3 cannon. That's not very good, right? So you have to have like decent targets for it. And then what priest deck are you putting it in? So like you don't want it in Raza Priest. You certainly don't want it in Big Priest. You don't want it in Shadow Priest. Just doesn't have a deck. Deal 3 damage to a minion. And summon a 3/3 copy of it. None of the Amara minions want this, right? You're not going to shoot your own 4/3 with it. You're not going to run a card just for one target anyway. But like shooting your own stuff. Does honorable kill work on your own stuff? Yes. Raza's the only one. You wouldn't play this in Raza. Too slow. Gift of the Naru. 1 mana, restore 3 health to all characters. If any are still damaged, draw a card. Holy spell. So first of all, this is 1 mana, 3 heal, 3 health, and draw a card in any priest deck. You always run this in Raza Priest, right? You run this in Raza Priest, and it's another good card to play with Xyrella. I didn't think about that. So this is like Renew with Xyrella, but better because you draw a card instead of discovering one. So now you can run Renew, this, Penance, Spirit Lash, and Xyrella as your healing package. That's starting to look a little better. I mean, like Raza Priest isn't a deck right now. Pirate Warrior and Questline Hunter need to go away, but I could see it. But yeah, you just run this in all the slow priest decks already. But then like this is better, worse Circle of Healing. But you get to run 4 copies of Circle of Healing now with your Northshire Cleric and your Akanai effects. So in an Akanai deck, this is a board clear that draws a card. So like you run the 2 mana Akanai card and this, and for 3 mana you deal 3 damage to the board and draw a card. So it's like a 2 card cheaper Hellfire that draws. But you get to also run Circle of Healing for the redundancy. I don't know. I think this card's really good, and it has a lot of potential in a lot of things. Luminous Goad. 2 mana, 1/4 elemental. After a friendly minion is healed, give it +2 attack. Does Priest have any elemental synergy? It doesn't, right? It's got elementals, but it doesn't have any elemental synergy. If this ever sticks, like the Wild Pyromancer, Circle of Healing, Gift of the Naru shenanigans you could have, pretty intense. The problem is, like, it never sticks, right? It does come back with Rally. So you could run, like, Northshire Cleric, this, Blade Master, Rally, Drekthar deck. I'm doing it. Sounds really fun. It's going to be terrible, though. Yeah, I think this is a bit too slow, but yeah. It's a kobold? Doesn't look like a kobold. No take candle, B candle. Oh, I see. It's got that kobold energy. Ooh, I got a new hype train emote. Is that a dolphin? Look how cool this dolphin is. Magic Hexen, 4 mana, 1/4. Battlecry, take control of an enemy minion. Death Rattle, give the minion back. When I read this, I thought it like when I read this, I had just woken up and I didn't have my glasses on. So I saw the battle cry as take control of all enemy minions. I was like, I haven't been that scared of a card since Alucia was printed. I remember seeing Alucia and being like, why? And then I read this and had the same thought, but it doesn't work that way, does it? It's just one. So it is like if you're running this and silence, it's steal a minion. Is that good? You could steal Warlock minions. That's like it, right? This with hero card? Oh, like, just give the minions back. I think that would fizzle. But, yeah. I think this has some potential. It's going to be really annoying in standard, I imagine. And, like, you don't have to have silence. You can just do this. It has 4 health, and you've removed your opponent's big minions, so maybe it even sticks. Or your opponent has to, like, have an awkward turn to get their minion back. Yeah, I don't know. I think this has some potential. I just, like, A, I don't know what minion, or I don't know what deck it goes into, and B, I don't know if this is too expensive, but could be really good. Shadow Word Devour, 1 mana, choose a minion. It steals 1 health from all other minions. Shadow spell. Isn't this like super good? In like a low to the ground inner fire like board based version of the deck. You just like play this on 2 with your Northshire Cleric. It kills half your opponent's pirates, and the Northshire Cleric gets huge. Can also steal Rush and Taunt to make it count immediately. True. And this card, really, 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 really good. This with Pyro clears whole board. It deals 2 damage to the whole board. So yeah, I think this is gonna be good. Like going through this now, I'm like really excited for Inner Fire Priest. I think it'll be cool. Spirit Guide, 5 mana, 5/5 taunt, death rattle, draw a holy spell, and a shadow spell. If this had been released in Frozen Throne, man, it would have been really good in Raza Priest. Probably would have been good in Res Priest too. But I think both decks have kind of like gone past the point where they want like a 5 mana slow draw 2. But maybe not. I don't know. 5 mana, 5/5 taunt, draw 2. Is that actually good? It messes with your Polkelt order. I'm thinking about optimizing Raza Priest, and Raza Priest isn't coming back until the questline decks go away. Medium Priest. It could go into Amara Priest. That's true. I don't know. This might have potential in Medium Priest. Stormpike Aid Station. 3 mana. At the end of your turn, give your minions +2 health. Last 3 turns. Much too fair. I think if this costs 2, I'd... even then, I don't know. Like, this goes in an Inner Fire deck. But I think it's much too slow. Undying Disciple. 6 mana, 3/7 taunt, death rattle, Deal damage equal to this minion's attack to all enemy minions. If you're a big priest and you know all of your opponents are Pirate Warrior and Shadow Priest, I think this card has potential because it's a Shadow Essenceable minion that can be played if you draw it the same turn as Shadow Essence. But not all your opponents are going to be those things, and even then, like, does it really want that? So I don't know. I don't think this sees any play in anything. But the effect is pretty good. It's just like Taunt and Death Rattle stonks are low right now, so. Xyrella the Devout. 8 mana. Trigger every bird that you cast this game. So trigger every Death Rattle, every friendly Death Rattle that's died this game. So I'm excited to play this with birds. I want to shuffle all the Albatross into my opponent's deck. You get to, like, so you shuffle a bunch of birds into their deck. You draw any Death Rattles that are still in your deck because of the 2 mana 2/1 that draws a Death Rattle. That'll be fun. A more, like, realistic use of this card that actually might work. You guys keep saying weasels. I don't think the weasels work. Weasels are shuffle this minion into your opponent's deck. This is casting the Death Rattle. This isn't a minion. So, like, there is no shuffling. Like, if Xyrella was an 8 mana minion, I think you would shuffle this into your opponent's deck. And then it would be in your opponent's deck, so the rest of the cast would finish against you. So I just don't think any aspect of this works with weasels. Okay, so I think like a more like legit use of this might be Amara Death Rattle Priest with like Leper Gnome, Sand Leper Gnome, and Shade Leper Gnome. Like the three like Death Rattle deal damage to your opponent cards. That you would use with a Rally Priest. You run that setup, the 2 mana minion that draws a Death Rattle when it dies, and Amara quest, and you run this as a finisher. So that once you've rallied those things a few times, you can just slam this. Once you've triggered enough of those Death Rattles that would actually kill your opponent. And then Drekthar to kind of cheat them out too. I don't know if that'll be good. It probably won't be that great, but I think that would be a deck. You know, like you could build a reasonable deck that way with Xyrella. Maybe it shuffles Xyrella. No, I don't think it does because it's not a minion. Will the reward track reset on December 7th? I imagine so. Still seems slow against Pirate Warrior? Maybe. Oh, what's the hero power? So the hero power is heal 5 or deal 5. And then it flips. Does it start off here and then you play it? And then, like, does it start off here and then next turn it's this? Or is it random? Either way, I think this card might be all right. We'll have to play with it. Seraphine. Okay, so we're on to Rogue now. Seraphine Fleet Runner. 5 mana, 5/5. Replace your minions in hand and deck with ones from other classes. They cost 2 less. So you can't play this with Tess because it turns your Tess into a different card. But you could play this with the new spell Tess. There's like a Tess effect on a spell you could play it with. So I don't think this is good, but it's like it's Lunacy a turn later, but it comes with a body. So that kind of gives me some hope for it. I think like in general, Burgle is like between the Burgle quest and things like this, Burgle is like a mildly competitive meme just in general. I think that's just the space that it's in, and I think it's also probably the space that it should be. So I think that this will be a decent card in Burgle decks, but it won't be a great card in Burgle decks. Unless Burgle decks are good, in which case this probably doesn't make the cut. There's a card or two here that I think are actually good. Imagine this with the 2 mana healing damage and a bunch of zombie chows. Yeah, that's like the Rally Priest with extra steps, I think. Cold Tooth Yeti, 3 mana, 1/5 combo plus 3 attack. I think this card is nuts. You just play this in the Edwin decks, right? So you either coin this out. You can like counterfeit coin, play this on 1 if you're going second. If you're going first on 3, you can Foxy Fraud and play this. That's a lot of stats. And like you just put it in a deck that's already built around Edwin, and it gives you like slightly worse, slightly better Edwins that just you don't have to change the deck at all to get use out of this. And this nutty? I think this is nutty. Maybe an odd rogue too. The thing is, on the play, how are you doing this? I guess you could play it on 4, but you can't play it on 3. Maybe though. This is a pile of stats. People say it's bad. You think it's good though? But it's like good stats and it's easy stats. Like it's not like, I don't know, a 3 mana 4/5. Well, if they just printed a 3 mana 4/5, a deck would play that, right? At least in standard. Because, like, stat piles matter more the lower to the ground it is. Like, if you have a 10 mana 20/20, that doesn't see play. Because 10 mana is too much. But, like, this is low to the ground stat pile. Contraband Stash, 5 mana, replay 5 cards from other classes you've played this game. So this is faster test and test that isn't a minion, so it works with the legendary spell. I think this is a meme card. Like, this is meme Burgle. Because it requires you to have generated spells from other classes that are worth playing and to also have played them, and then you can play this. So like that's a lot of ifs. So I don't think that this even happens on 5 very often. I think there's an edge case with this where you use it to repeat whatever Zephyrus played. This? So you get wild growth again? Yeah, you're talking about this. Oh, like Shadow Word Ruin, for instance? I don't know. Maybe it's good. I doubt it. We'll see. Double Agent, 3 mana, 3/3. If you're holding a card from another class, summon a copy of this. So you Swashbuckler on 1, and then coin this out on 2. Something like that. This is the type of Burgle card that makes Burgle happen. Because you don't actually have to, like, the card you got from another class doesn't have to be good, and you don't have to have played it. You just play this on 3 as a 3 mana 6/6. You saw Theorycraft for Odd Rogue with this card? Oh. You could play this in Odd Rogue. So you run Swashbuckler, you run Wand Thief. Is that it, though? If that's it, I don't think this goes very far. Maestra? Yeah, Maestra's interesting. The thing is, Maestra doesn't work very well with the best new Burgle cards, so that might prevent Maestra from being any good. But The thing is, you have to skip turn 1 and 2 in order to play this with Maestro also. So I don't know, maybe. Dragon Sword, yeah, I don't really like the ones that I don't really like the ones that don't make a body. Feral Cat sometimes, yeah. Forsaken Lieutenant, 2 mana 2/2. After you play a Death Rattle minion, so stealth. After you play a Death Rattle minion, become a 2/2 copy of it with Rush. What's a good 3 mana Death Rattle minion that Rogue can play? Karak. What else? Oh, so you can like get a Karak with this. That's cute. You have to leave it stealth for a while. Lillian. Is there anything on 3 that you could play that's good? Only egg. Oh, like the dragon egg. All right. Well, you can't curve out with this easily, so I don't have a lot of faith in it. There's a 3 mana 3/4 shark that gives coins. Does it give coins to you or to your opponent? Is it a 3 mana 3/4 that gives you 2 coins on a Death Rattle? Man, if that just came out a couple years before, that card would have been broken. Why not play the 4 mana Death Rattle Girl? What's the 4 mana Death Rattle Girl? Oh, it's Battle Cry, give 1 to your opponent. Oh, so you have to give your opponent a coin? Yuck. Reconnaissance, 2 mana, discover a Death Rattle minion from another class. It costs 2 less. If this cost 1, I think it would be nutty. Like, not too nutty. But since it costs 2, I don't see it. Shadowcrafter Scabs, 7 mana, Battle Cry, return all minions to their owner's hand, summon 2 4/2 stealth shadows. Battle Cry Hero Power is 0 mana. The next card you play this turn costs 2 less. So, just looking at the Battle Cry, this is a vanish that creates tempo that your opponent has a hard time interacting with, that can be played despite Loatheb. And that's really, really good. I think the only limiting factor for this card is, does a deck want it? And I think at the very least, you could Mill Rogue with it. But I don't know that Mill Rogue cares about the 4/2 aspect of it. But this Battle Cry is crazy, right? Or this Hero Power. The next card you play this turn costs 2 less, so you get the 4/2s from the stealth, and then you can Hero Power and play something else too. I think this card is nuts. It's just like, what are your other 29 cards? I don't know what strategy you want for this deck. So that it might just be like, if you're playing a rogue deck that cares about being aggressive, you just play this, because 7 mana, ruin your opponent's board and develop a pretty good board. 2 4/2 stealth minions while you've made your opponent have to do their whole turn over again. I mean, this card seems crazy. I feel like for standard, this might even be nerfs worthy. It's really good. Man, you could almost run it in Kingsbane even. The fact that it makes the stealth minions kind of sets up Nitro Boost Poison. Too slow, but I don't know. I think this is good. The strategy is to put it in your deck. Simple as that. Is it too much to hope for some sort of tempo rogue with this? I don't think so. I think that this card is good enough that something could happen with it. Snowfall Graveyard, 3 mana. Your death rattles trigger twice, last 3 turns. I think that this is better than Baron Potato Guy, the 4 mana 1/7. So like you play it on 3, and then you have 2 turns to get double death rattles. And your opponent can't do anything about it. So like what are you doing in those 2 turns? What are you doing in those 2 turns though? Is the question. You could also swing with Necrium Blade on 3. I don't know. It's almost like you play this on 3, you play a Death Rattle minion on 4, and then activate the Death Rattle minion on 5. So that, putting it in that perspective seems slow. Literally, if you can proc Sand Trooper 5 times, it's an OTK. And that's just 15 damage. Oh no, this is twice. You're right. How are we triggering Sand Trooper 5 times? You play this on 3, you play Sketchy Information, you draw Korak, triggers Rattle at the end of your turn, and you end up with 3 Koraks. Forsaken Lieutenant into Snowball Graveyard into Korak. Is there going to be any on-screen indication that this effect is active? Good question. I'd like to know that too. The Lobotomizer, 2 mana, 2/2 weapon, honorable kill, get a copy of the top card of your opponent's deck. I wouldn't use this in a wild Burgle Rogue because you're running the quest anyway, right? And like if value mattered in Hearthstone these days, I would say this is a good card, but I don't think it is. This is like the type of thing that like Priest would maybe have wanted a couple years ago. Would I play this at 1 mana? Probably. 1 mana, 2/2, get a card every time you swing. Wild Paw Knoll, 5 mana, 4/5 rush, costs 1 less for each card you've added to your hand from another class. So I saw this and I thought, Maestra? But the thing is, like, you have to draw cards. Your mulligan won't count. So yeah, Maestra's out with this. I think this is pretty easy to discount for a Burgle Rogue. So like if any card's going to make Burgle Rogue work, it'll be this one. You have this, and you have the 3/4 rush for 2 mana, and Vendetta that are your big payoffs, and maybe the 3/3 that makes the second copy too. So now that we're cheating out stats, and like cheating out a bunch of tempo with these things, I think that Burgle Rogue has a chance. This might be a little bit slow because like you play Swashbuckler on 1, you play Cloak of Potatoes on 2, and this isn't even free yet. So it's gonna be interesting. It might be very easy to like maybe turn 3 or 4. This is almost always free, in which case this will actually be pretty good. But we'll have to play with it and see. I have been so high on Shaman that I've like, until just now, since we've been going through the review, I haven't really been thinking much about other classes. It's really hard to like theorycraft anything else, considering how Pog Shaman is right now. So yeah, I'm more excited for Shaman than anything else. I think Shaman is the big winner of this expansion in Wild. Baron Glacier. 7 mana 6/6 for each frost spell you've cast this game. Summon a 3/4 elemental that freezes. It is itself an elemental. So this was like one of the first cards we saw from the expansion. It got leaked, and everyone was saying, Frost Shaman's gonna be a thing finally. Free Shaman. And I was saying, like, they need to print like really good frost spells for this to be good, because right now, like, leading into this expansion, we have Invocation of Frost and Ice Fishing. That's three spells, 2 invocations and 1 ice fishing. And that's not enough on its own. But they did print good. They printed amazing frost spells this expansion. So when this comes down, it's going to probably fill your board with 3/4s. Your whole board is probably going to be filled with 3/4s by the time this comes down. So like, you have this. If I don't get this in gold, all right, I hear you. You have this, you have Macaw the turn after this, and you have Shutterwalk recasting this. I think are all just really good. It makes me wonder if you need to have brooms in a free Shaman deck, because can you imagine like playing this with your Shutterwalk and the Shutterwalk giving it rush? I think that would go a long way to surviving. Let's see. So if you cast 4 frost spells by the time you play this, you do still have room for broom. You would have to cast 6 frost spells to not have room for broom. So 6 frost spells by turn 7 is probably still unlikely. So yeah, you should have room for broom if you were going to cast this on 8. I don't know. A Galakron deck probably doesn't want broom anyway, just because it has so much rush extra. But I think this card is a decent payoff card, especially considering, you know, Shutterwalk wants stuff in its Shutter pool, wants like minions, wants stats in its Shutter pool to go with Loatheb, and this is another good way to do it. Bruchan of the Elements. So 8 mana, Battlecry, call upon the power of 2 elements. So you have, so the hero power is calling upon the elemental, calling upon the elements once per turn, and it rotates like Dr. Boom does. So at the end of your turn, your opponent will know what your element's going to be. So the elements are Earth Invocation for summon 2/2/3 elementals with taunt. I actually thought these were 2/2s until just now. It's pretty good. Heal 6 to all friendly characters, so not just your hero, it also heals your board. Fire Invocation deals 6 damage to the enemy hero, and Lightning Invocation... Wait. Where is it? Why is it so out of order? Earth, Water, Fire. Lightning Invocation, deal 2 damage to all enemy minions. So it's like a Consecrate that doesn't go face, or 6 damage to the enemy hero, or 2/2/3 taunts, or heal 6 health to all friendly characters. And then the hero power rotates between those every turn. I think this card is probably a little bit better than it looks. It seems slow and it seems like random and awkward, but like, this is a hero that doesn't have anti-synergy with Shutterwalk. So it's going to be hard having this come out the same set as all the free Shaman support, because when you're running a free Shaman deck, you always run it with Galakron. Isn't Fire the only good one? I think Fire is the only meh one, to be honest. But if you're running an infinite Shutterwalk deck, like you play this and you choose deal 2, summon 2/3 taunts, seems all right. Or you do like heal deal 2 or heal make taunts. Then you have a hero power you can actually use, and those effects are pretty decent to have in your Shutterwalk pool. So like if you're gonna run like an actual like infinite Shutterwalk, this is actually pretty cool. But the Brucon's big competition is Galakron's, because there's so much freeze support coming out this expansion. You're never gonna run this over Galakron in a free Shaman deck, and I think free Shaman is just gonna be crazy. So if this came out last set, I think this sees play, but maybe not now. It effectively heals you for 11 if you choose 6, true. I think this card is being slightly underrated, and people are going to feel validated just because you can't run this in a free Shaman deck, and free Shaman is going to be the way people play Shaman. But I think if this had come out a set earlier, it actually would have been a real card. Cheaty Snowball, 3 mana, 3/4. After an enemy is frozen, deal 3 damage to it. I have not included this in any Galakron Shaman theory crafts so far. I don't know if I should like rethink that though. You know, like dealing 3 damage alongside your freeze could be good. Like Invocation can go face. The other one can't. And that's kind of like what's holding me back with this card is Wind Chill doesn't go face. I don't know. I think it's like slightly too slow to see play. Like if it was a River Croc, I think you always play this. But like once a minion is frozen, it's dealt with, right? You don't want to deal with it even more by adding damage to it. So yeah, I don't think you play this. Frostbite, 2 mana frost spell, deal 3 damage, honorable kill, your opponent's next spell costs 2 more. So like in a world, there is a world where like you Zentimo play this, honorable kill 3 things, and then your opponent is locked out of playing spells for like I don't know, several turns. I think this card is good because it's a weaker Loatheb because your opponent can like play one of their spells and then cast other things. But it's better because if your opponent can't play a spell or the spell they play isn't worth playing, the effect sticks and ruins them later on. And it is 2 mana, deal 3 damage, so like it can go face if you want it to, or it can kill a minion for the effect. I think this card's good, but it might be not worth it in your free Shaman deck. But I do think that like it has a lot of potential. So I'm gonna play with it. It also adds to your bear because it's a frost spell. Mana burn on a Frostbolt. Only downside is it has no text versus Pirate Warrior. True. I honestly think Honorable Kill is way too difficult to activate, especially against the decks that it's needed. APM Mage and Odd Hunter can't get Honorable Kill. You can shoot your own stuff. But, yeah. If you target face, does Honorable Kill get activated? No. But I don't know. This card's interesting. It might be that it's terrible. We'll find out day 1. Glaciate, 6 mana, discover an 8-cost card, summon, and freeze it. Frost Spell. You guys remember the 6 mana 8/8? That, like, isn't an 8/8 better than the average 8-cost minion? That card got to attack first and then freeze. So, I don't, like, how much would this have to cost for it to be good? Like 3? Don't you think? Maybe at 4. I don't know. But, like, this is like the slowest stat pile. If you hit the new Abomination, that's all right. So like this is yucky. It's not seeing play. Sleepbreaker, 2 mana 3/2. Add the best Frost Shaman spell to your hands. where is Wind Chill? Let's look at that first. Wind Chill. All right, this is the card they needed to print. This is like the exact card they needed to print to make free Shaman a thing. So 1 mana Frost spell, freeze a minion, draw a card. So good. You run this in your deck, you play Zentimo, and you you freeze 3 things and draw 3 cards. Like, this is just good all the time. Marabi, forever in our hearts, never in our decks. That's my policy on Marabi. It's just way too slow. This card is just good though. Like, Zentimo, Note Taker have synergy with this, and it's just good. Like, it's freeze, it's pause your opponent's minion, and it doesn't cost a card in your hand. So yeah, I think like printing this just makes free Shaman work. And this card adds it to your hand. There's a 2 mana 3/2 elemental that adds Wind Chill to your hand. So you get to play Sleep Breaker on 2, get a Wind Chill in your hand, and then you get another Wind Chill when you play your Shudderwock. This card's nuts. Yeah, just think about 3 mana 3/2 freeze a minion, draw a card. How insane is that? This card is insane. How good is Free Shaman going to be versus Painlock? Very good. This card is going to get Invocation of Frosted. Oh, true. I could see it getting nerfed by one. Blizz done messed up and gave my people draw card. That's true. Like, this is an actual good draw card for Shaman. Like, one that it actually wants to play and doesn't have 40 overload on it. This makes sick Bolner turns. The thing is, like, once you add enough frost spells, Primal Dungeoneer stops being good. Maybe? I don't know. It's really hard to say. Because, like, if you could consistently get this off your Primal Dungeoneer, I think it would, like, be pretty great with, like, an elemental package that's built to, like, have good Bolner turns. But I don't know if you run Bolner just for this, because the rest of the free Shaman deck doesn't really have battle cries in it. Anyways, pretty cool. Snowball Fight. 3 mana frost spell. Deal 1 damage to a minion and freeze it. If it survives, repeat this on another minion. So if your opponent has like a bunch of things with more than 1 health, I think Snowball Fight is good, right? It's like Frost Nova, but does a little bit of damage. The thing is, like, if your opponent has a bunch of things that have 1 health, this is really bad. So yeah, I think you run this in your silly Marabi free Shaman, but you don't run it in a serious free Shaman. You can run it in Elemental Shaman. You skipped a bazillion of cards. No, I didn't. I got here, and then I fast forwarded to Wind Chill, and then I rewound to Sleep Breaker. Right? Yeah, I talked about this. Snowfall Guardian, 5 mana 3/3, Battlecry, freeze all other minions, gain +1/+1 for each frozen minion, elemental. So I think this card is really good, but it also might be bad. And the reason is if this is in your Shudderwock pool, your opponent gets to build a board after you've played this, after you've played Shudderwock, and then your board is full and frozen, so they just hit you in the face. Grumble? So you, like, remove your own board so that you don't get... Then your hand is just full of a bunch of, like, 3-4 bears and stuff. That doesn't sound very good. Wailing Soul. I actually thought about that, but, like, then you have a Wailing Soul in your deck. So I don't know. I think this effect is really strong. And the earlier it happens in your Shutterwalk, the better it's going to be. But yeah, I think I'm going to try this, and it's going to scam me a couple of times, and I'll probably cut it, considering how easy it is to otherwise freeze things. But this effect is really good. I think in like an infinite Shutterwalk deck, I would run this every time because I value having the freeze all other minions. But if I'm going to run like a tempo Galakron freeze Shaman deck, this might not make the cut, just because your Shutterwalk turn is bad. Like, your opponent just gets to set up and kill you because you've frozen your own board. It freezes a board against a Loatheb. Yeah, like the freeze your opponent's board aspect of it is really, really good. It just makes your Shutterwalk a liability. That's my concern with it. I'm not saying it won't be good. I'm saying I'm wary of it maybe not being good in a tempo-based deck. So like, I'm gonna try it. I absolutely see all the upsides of this. I'm just wary of like what it does to your deck's game plan. Wild Paw Cavern, 4 mana. At the end of your turn, summon a 3/4 elemental that freezes. Last 3 turns. Could this have been 3 mana? Makes your Shutterwalk kind of beefy though. It does, but like the rest of your board is frozen. You can't play anything on the board the following turn. I don't know. It seems strong to me. I'm definitely gonna try it. I will not be surprised if it's like an amazing card. I just like it does come with a potential downside. Imagine Wind Furying your Shutterwalk. You'd have to run like legit Wind Fury. You couldn't Battle Master it. Your board's full and frozen. Big Shaman card. I don't know. I feel like 4 mana is 1 mana too expensive, and I don't think 3 mana would have been broken. But yeah, it seems slow even for standard. Windchill, we talked about that. Best card for Shaman in the whole set. All right, on to Warlock. 3 mana. At the end of your turn, destroy your lowest attack minion to summon a 4/4 Shade. Last 3 turns. I think the best deck for this is Cute Lock, and Cute Lock can't run a 3 mana card. Dreadlich Tamsin, 6 mana, Battlecry, deal 3 damage to all minions, shuffle 3 rifts into your deck, and draw 3 cards. This card, okay, so the Battlecry becomes Chains of Dread. Shuffle a rift into your deck, draw a card. So it makes your hero power a little worse, I think. But it does have some slight upside, and I say worse because I'm going to suggest that you play this in even lock. And it costing twice as much mana is not worth shuffling a weird 3/3 into your deck. Obviously, you can't play this in Arena Lock because it turns off your Highlander stuff, but in regular tempo even lock, this card is insane. This card is crazy good. You get to clear the board, gain a little bit of health, and refill your hand. So if you're up against an aggro deck, you've played all of your cards early, your hand is lower than it needs to be in order to gain the effect of all of your cards. So you get to clear the board, heal up, and draw 3 cards, setting you up to be able to play your things that require your hand to be large the turn following. And because you've refilled your hand with this Battlecry, it doesn't, like, you don't even want to be tapping for the next turn or two anyway. So the fact that it's made your hero power a little worse is inconsequential. I think this card is nutty in even lock, and I think you might even play it in pain lock. Like, pain lock wants to have a large hand as well, and like the shuffling and the shuffling of the 3/3s might actually matter in that deck because it runs brooms. So like when you draw those 3/3s, you'll be able to trade with them. It does seem like I'm very confident you play this in even lock, like tempo even lock, and I'm less confident you play it in pain lock. But pain lock will actually care about the 3/3s because of the broom. This might be a little bit too much planning to fail for pain lock, but Certainly an even lock. What are the rifts? They're 3/3 demons. Oh, look how chunky that demon is. Aw. Look at that. Look at that, like, chonky demon. Chonkiest imp. Why do many people on models get 3/4s that freeze and Mage gets 3/6s that freeze? Can someone spot Blizzard's favorite class? Yeah, I don't know that they're comparable. All right. Fell Fire in the Hole. 5 mana fell spell, draw a spell, and deal 2 damage to all enemies. If it's a fell spell, deal 1 more. What's a good fell spell to draw with this? So it does pollute Gul'dan. Yeah, you don't run it in a Gul'dan deck, I don't think. I'm talking about like Tempo, Evenlock, and Painlock are the Tamsin considerations. You get to draw the rifts. The rifts are fell spells? Oh yeah, it's a fell rift. So 5 mana, make a 3/3, deal 3 damage to all enemies. How good is that? I feel like this is kind of and draw a card. I feel like this is kind of Demonic Assault power level, where like it's really good, but it's like just on the fair side of fair, you know, like it's straddling the broken line, but it's not like crossing it. So I don't know. This is interesting. I just don't know what you'd do with it. Fellwalker, 6 mana, 3/7 demon, taunt, battlecry, cast the highest cost spell from your hand. Oh my goodness. How do I look at cards? Oh my goodness. Let me look at the cards. Okay, here we go. Wild cards. Fell. How do I search for fell spells? There's more fell spells than this, isn't there? Spell School drop down? Oh, okay, cool. Duh. Thank you. So let's see. High cost fell spells. And like none of these are worth casting, right? Cast the highest cost fell spell from your hand. So that, like this is there just to cast the new 5 mana card. If you draw a portal, does it summon a 3/3 then draw you something else? Yeah. So 6 mana, cast this. Three, 7 taunt. Seems good, but you have to have a very specific hand for this to be good. I don't know. I like the art on it. Full blown evil. Deal 5 damage randomly split among all enemies. Repeatable this turn. So it's most of a Dark Skies on 3, and then it's a Relicologist. It's enemy minions, right? All right. So it's a Relicologist on 6 and a Relicologist plus on 9. Is this card good? It doesn't make a 4/6, so it's a bit worse than Relicologist, like quite a bit. But like it has the upside of being able to be played earlier. Minefield exists at 2 mana. Not in Warlock though. This is interesting. Probably not good enough, but it's interesting. Grave Defiler, 1 mana 2/1. Copy a fell spell in your hand. I'm not in love with any of the options here. Maybe if you were trying to set up a big Fist of Jiraxxus with Cataclysm. There's Philosophy. If that was a Demon Hunter card, then I could see you playing that for additional Urzel Giants. But yeah, none of the rest of this is that great. Shuffle 4 Rifts into your deck. They summon 3. That's not good, right? I guess it gives you an extra Dark Skies. Like you could play it in like a regular Reno lock to copy Dark Skies or Demonic Assault, or I guess you could even add Fellbolt in there if you wanted to like build around that card. But I don't know that that's strong enough to build around. So I don't know. I don't think the Fell spells exist, but like it's good enough to see play eventually, I think. Right? Holy Abomination. Like this just needs a good Fell spell. As soon as it has one, I think it's good. Hollow Abomination. 5 mana 2/8. Deal 1 damage to all enemy minions. Honorable kill. Gain them minions attack. So if we kill like 3 2/1s with this, this is a 5 mana 8/8. I feel like this card would have been great if it had Taunt. It doesn't have Taunt, so I don't think it's good. That's my opinion on this. Sacrificial Summoner. 3 mana 3/3. Destroy a friendly minion. Summon a minion from your deck that costs 1 more. You know why this card is unfortunate? This card is unfortunate because it itself costs the amount that you want to get from. Because if it was like 2 more, then you could play an egg on 2, then play this on 3, and summon something cool like a Void Caller or whatever on 4, like on 3 with this. But playing this, destroying an egg, and getting your other copy of this doesn't sound that great. Although that is a 3 mana 6/6. We can make Oaken Summons Warlock with this. What are we summoning? I guess you play this on 4, huh? Killing whatever you played on 3 and summoning an injured Marauder. Eat a Void Caller and pull Loatheb easy, yeah. So I don't know. I think this needed to be 2 more to see play, but maybe in an egg deck just as a 3 mana 6/6 with potential upside if you're running like other 3s. Seeds of Destruction. Shuffle 4 Rifts into your deck. They summon 3/3 Dread Imps when drawn. So this is like this is like the squirrel for Druid, except it doesn't come with an initial body. So, say it's bad. Tamsin's Phylactery. Discover 4 mana, Shadow Spell, Legendary. Discover a friendly Death Rattle minion that died this game. Give your minions its Death Rattle. So, if this was like trigger its Death Rattle like 4 times or something, I would say it's good. But you have to have a board. Like, you have to have a big board to use this. If you have a big board, you're probably happy anyway. What Death Rattle, having died early, is good to have this played between turns like 4 and 6? Because, like, what board are you using this on in, like, Arena Lock? Nothing, right? Like Sand Trooper and Defile? So that's a turn 6 play if you had a board that stuck around the turn prior. Egg, Nerubian Egg? So you run it in an egg lock? Egg or Darkest Hour. The thing is, like, in those decks, if you have the board that you can use this on for 4 mana, you would probably win anyway, right? I think this is slow. I think it's a fun card. Like, I would love to, like, set up a Moarg, like a Forge Fiend with, like, I play my N'Zoth and it summons a bunch of Kartoots, and then I play this and give them all Death Rattle, gain 8 armor, trade them in. Sounds really fun. But yeah, I don't think it's very good. On to Warrior. 4 mana, 3/5 rush, honorable kill, draw a weapon, Axe Berserker. So this card seems very good to me. You like play this, kill a cannon or something, draw a weapon. But the problem is Pirate Warrior exists, and anything you do in Warrior that isn't Pirate Warrior is going to be worse than Pirate Warrior, right? So, like, what weapon are you even drawing that you care about that isn't Ankar and better drawn by the quest itself? I guess, like, a Galakrond's Warrior might like that, because it's a rush card. Get your Invoke, but, like, it's just going to be way worse than Pirate Warrior. Captain Galvangar. 6 mana, 6/6 Battlecry. If you have gained 15 or more armor this game, gain +3/+3 in charge. Oh my goodness. This is if you've gained 15 armor this game? I thought this was if you have 15 or more armor. You just have to have gained the armor? This card's nuts! This card's insane. All right. So you run it in the Dead Man's Hand shell. Dead Man's Hand doesn't get anywhere close to this deck, but you run that shell with the Skippers and the Eternium Rovers and Armorsmith and all the draw and stuff. And then you just play this with Bloodsworn Mercenary as, like, how many of these do you need to OTK? So you run it with, like, Inner Rage. So Inner Raging this puts it at 11. So you would need 3. So if you do the new spell that reduces the cost by 2, but not less than 1. This is 6. Mercenary is 1. Mercenary is 1. So that's an 8 mana combo for all the damage, but your whole deck gets to be draw and armor apart from those cards. I feel like this is the type of win condition that puts Tempo Warrior back on the map, but we'll have to see. Is a 6 mana 9/9 really that nuts anymore? I don't know. Why is this better than Charge Crab Rider OTK? Because with Charge Crab Rider, you always have to go full combo to get it to work, whereas this is just kind of good enough on its own. Sometimes. I don't know. This might be terrible, and it might be good. We'll have to play with it. Frozen Buckler, 2 mana, gain 10 armor at the start of your next turn, lose 5 armor, frost spell. I think this card isn't good because 2 mana, gain 10 armor, do nothing else, just doesn't seem worth a card to me. I think in most cases, what is it? The 2 mana 2/2. Dry Whisker armor would be better because it makes a 2/2 and it can be like comboed with Bran for insane permanent armor. I don't know. It kind of combos with that other spell for clear. Feel like it's only good as a defensive tool against aggro. I think it's not a good defensive tool against aggro, is what I'm saying. Like it, first of all, the armor isn't permanent, but also like it just, you haven't changed what's happening in front of you. You know, like it's not like you get to also draw a card like with shield block, and it's not like you have the option to draw cards or buff your board like branching paths. This is just armor, and it's not even permanent armor. Half of it goes away if it's only good if your opponent is already in a really good position and then you haven't actually done it. You know what though, this combos with 2 board clears. You get to play this with the new board clear and you get to play it with Reckless Flurry. If Reckless Flurry, it's gone too. And it activates Shield Slam. Alright, maybe I was too hard on this card. It combos with things. On its own merits, I think it's quite bad. But gaining all that armor without reducing the cost of all of your opponent's minions by 2 does activate a lot of clear cards. Glory Chaser, 4 mana 4/3. After you play a taunt minion, draw a card. So target dummy. I think it's cool with target dummy and really not much else. Like the fact that you can play this and then play the dummy the same turn, I think is good. But like, what else are you playing with this? Like you could play it in like taunt hand buff. I think if you're running a taunt hand buff deck, you probably play this because you're gonna run like as many cheapy taunts as you can. But and this like helps you refill. But I think it's a bit slow unless you have like double target dummy in your hand. Not enough to push Reckless Flurry outside of odd, in your opinion? If there's a deck that wants those board clears outside of odd, I would say it's enough. You would just need like something to be doing at the end of that. So Ice Blood Garrison, 2 mana. At the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to all minions. Last 3 turns. How annoying is this as a board clear? Is this an annoying board clear? Like you play it when it kills a couple pirates and then your opponent just kind of gets wrecked. Not like wrecked completely, but it ruins their development for 2 more turns after. Makes it harder for them to do stuff. Is this card subtly good? Like I'm not thinking about it from the aspect of like how it'll affect my own board, but is this like just good as a persistent board clear? Lots of even warrior support. Rokara the Valorous, 7 mana, equip a 5/2 unstoppable force. The hero power is deal 2 damage, and if you honorable kill, you gain 4 armor. Unstoppable force is after you attack your minions, smash it into the enemy hero. It is a 5/2 weapon. So, I feel like this effect is really good, and this hero power is really good, but you don't want this hero power in a deck that you want this weapon in. And a deck that you'd want this weapon in probably doesn't care about a 7 mana effect like this. Like, I said this for Cariel. Like, I just feel like the hero powers for this and Cariel should have been swapped, but we'll see when we play with them. Because like Cariel is a defensive card with an offensive hero power, and this is an offensive card with a defensive hero power. So it also does feel like it didn't need to cost 7. Like, I feel like you get a lot less value on this card than you do on some of the other ones. On the other ones, you're getting like something like a weapon and something else. This one you just get the weapon and the hero power. What does smashing mean? I assume it's the minion does its damage to the enemy hero. So like, if your opponent puts out a big taunt, it can be a liability because you can play this and smack it, but like, I don't know, that's not relevant to Wild. I don't see this one in Wild, and I don't really like, I don't know what deck would even care about it, is the thing. Maybe Grand Slam is better than Baku hero power, so you could run it in a Baku deck, but even then, nah. Scrapsmith, is this the final art on this, or is it the orc? I thought the orc was the final art. Anyways, 3 mana 2/4 taunt, battle cry, add 2/4 grunts with taunt to your hand. So you guys remember that Echo card that was a 3 mana 2/4 taunt, and you could replay it that turn? This is that, but better, because you always get all 3 echoes, and then you can play them all in one turn if you have the mana, or you can play them later if you don't. How good is that? Not enough to bring back Sulfuris. I don't know what deck would play this. I think some people who like Taunt hand buff will try it, and maybe this is good in Taunt hand buff, but it sounds a little honest for Wild. Shield Shatter. Deal 5 damage to all minions. Costs 1 less for each armor you have. Frostspell. Costs 10 mana. You know what I'm just now realizing is this is a card for Spiteful Summoner. Not a good enough card though. So deal 5 damage to all minions. If that costs 0, how good is that? Pretty good, right? So you play this or Reckless Flurry alongside the 2 mana card. What's the rest of your deck? I guess this and Reckless Flurry could go in even. Not Reckless Flurry, the 2 mana card that gives you 10 armor for a turn. I really don't want to just run that in even though, because even struggles with draw. So like, I think you want to rely on like Dry Whisker armor, if anything. Crab Riders or ETC. So is this good enough with just Risky Skipper, Armor Smith as your way to develop armor? See, I don't know. This is a really good card. I just don't know what deck I'd put it in. Snowden, 3 mana, destroy a damaged minion, freeze all other minions. Another frost spell. A lot of frost spells in Warrior, pretty random. So this is execute for 1 more mana, and it freezes all other minions. I don't know what Warrior deck would want a Frost Nova, and this is worse Frost Nova, in my opinion. when you play Frost Nova, you kind of want the minions to stick so that your opponent basically skips their turn because they don't have board space to play anything else. And with this one, a minion has to be damaged or you can't cast it, right? Like you have to have a target to destroy in order to freeze all the other minions. So I don't really see this card. Like, even if you could just cast this as Frost Nova, I don't know that a deck actually wants this. Maybe Odd Warrior, but even then. To the front, 2 mana. Your minions cost 2 less this turn, but not less than 1. Having the not less than 1 on there makes me really skeptical that this card will see any play. It does have potential for, like, being making combos happen later on, but then you just like have this floating around in your deck, and having a 2 mana do nothing in your deck, cough, Dead Man's Hand, cough, doesn't seem that good. But like it does cheat mana, so it has potential, but like cheating mana but not less than 1 tends to not be good. So I don't have a lot of faith in it, but there are combos you can do with this. We're on to the neutrals now. So Abominable Lieutenant, 8 mana, 3/5. At the end of your turn, eat a random enemy minion and gain its stats. This doesn't have taunt. If it had taunt, I would say this is almost a Big Priest minion. It's a much more interesting Big Priest minion too if it had taunt. Like it eating the enemy minions sounds like it would be fun. But it doesn't have taunt, so I don't think this sees play in anything. Bloodguard, 5 mana, 4/7. Whenever this minion takes damage, give your minions +1 attack. Is there any card in any class that gives a single minion multiple iterations of damage? I don't think so. So it's like in Rage Warrior, could maybe do something with this with like Skipper. But then, you know, this costs 5 mana, and you're killing your other minions to Skipper. So I doubt it. Bunker Sergeant, 3 mana, 2/4 battle cry. If your opponent has 2 or more minions, deal 1 damage to all enemy minions. That's 3 mana, 2/4, deal 1 damage to all enemy minions. Isn't this good? This card seems good to me. Is it good? I think you'd play it in like a not freeze Shutter Shaman, but like in a regular just infinite Shutter Shaman. I think like this is a card worth playing. I don't know. I don't know what deck specifically wants it, but it seems good. It's definitely going to see play in Standard, right? Maybe? I don't know. Corporal, 2 mana, 2/3, honorable kill, give your other minions Divine Shield. This card seems kind of nuts. Played in a deck like maybe Handbuff Paladin, anything that has a broom in it. Played in Painlock and trade favorably into your opponent's giants. Like give your other minions Divine Shield seems really good on a card this cheap. And because broom exists, you can even like giving your whole board rush with the broom, including this, allows you to set up the honorable kill. So like, I don't know. I don't know exactly where this is going to see play, but I imagine it will see play in something. Dire Wolf Commander, 3 mana, 2/5, honorable kill, summon a 2/2 wolf with stealth. I could almost see it in Standard. It might even be a little too honest for Standard, but not in Wild. Drekthar. Frantic Hippogriff, 5 mana, 3/7 beast, rush, honorable kill, gain Wind Fury. This is actually worse than some of the worst Wind Furies around this mana cost, because it doesn't have Wind Fury on it, so you can't use it with like Corpse Taker and stuff. Otherwise, I think it's better than a lot of other things. Is this? Oh, this is a 5 mana beast. So Guardian Animals. Is this ever good enough to play in a Hunter with the new Discovery spell? I don't know. This card's interesting. You can play the Ram the turn before, and then you can play this alongside like the Twin spell, give a beast +2/+2, or the Biscuit on turn 5. I don't know. Seems a little honest, but like maybe it has potential. Frost Wolf Warmaster, 4 mana, 3/3, costs 1 less for each card you've played this turn. This is getting played in something. Cute Lock could maybe play this. Miracle Rogue could definitely play this. Painlock could maybe even play this. You have to play 4 cards. So, I don't know. It's going in something. Like, if you have a deck that has, like... I think you need 0-cost spells for this to see play. So maybe it's mostly a Rogue and Cute Lock card. Because, like, you don't want to play 4 1-cost cards on turn 4 and then play this. You want to play it before that. I don't know. It's a 0 mana 3/3, relatively easy to activate. So I think it'll see play in at least something. Probably Rogue. Coin, Foxy Step, Foxy, Warmaster, Edwin. Yeah. So Frozen Mammoth, 4 mana, 6/7, Beast. This is frozen until you cast a fire spell. What deck would just play a 4 mana, 6/7 Beast? Anything? Maybe Even Hunter? Would Even Hunter play a 4 mana 6/7 Beast? Like straight up? Maybe not. So, okay. We would need to find something that would want to play this if it had no text. And then we need to look at that deck and think, does this have a ton of fire spells in it? Because, like, if this is super easy to get rid of the free spell and you want a 4 mana 6/7, then I think this card is good. But, like, 4 mana is around the time when your opponent's giants start to come down, and this does not trade well into giants, does it? This comes out of Oaken Summons? Yeah, but so does Injured Marauder. Gangster, 2 mana 4/2. 2 mana 4/2. Stealth. After your opponent plays a minion, attack it. Have you guys heard of a card called Harbinger Celestia? So Harbinger Celestia is a 4 mana 5/6 with Stealth, which is nutty. But your opponent gets to decide how to remove it, because when they play the next minion they play, Harbinger Celestia becomes. So if they have a 1 mana 1/1, they just get to like destroy your 4 mana, easy peasy. And that's kind of how I feel about this Gangster. So like, it's a 2 mana 4/2, but your opponent can just play a deckhand, and then this like just dies on their 1 mana card. And like, say you're up against an opposing rogue and you're trying to set up a Greyheart Sage, they can just play a 1-cost minion and then use their dagger that they had from last turn. And like, it's stealth, but it also gets exposed by your opponent playing something. So like, it kills Sorks. It does kill Sorks. It does kill Flamewakers, but unfortunately it also kills Drekthar. That said, this is cute. And like, targeting APM Mage is not as like relevant as targeting Ignite Mage, in my opinion. So like, this is not good against Ignite Mage, right? Like the Chandler survives it. It's bad Snipe. It might be better than Snipe. They cost the same. And this has the upside of being a proactive minion. Gnome Private, 1 mana 1/3, honorable kill, gain +2 attack. This seems good to me, but it's good because you can trade with it. And a deck that runs a 1 mana 1/3 doesn't want to trade, right? So I think Standard might have room for this, but I don't think Wild does. Doesn't have a tag either. Grim Totem Bounty Hunter, 3 mana, 4/2, Battlecry, destroy an enemy legendary minion. Rend Blackhand in complete shambles. Just like, utter shambles. I don't know that I like caring about rarity. It would bother me in Hearthstone, or in Magic the Gathering, but I don't know that it bothers me in Hearthstone. What I don't like about this is I don't think it's very good. Like, what are you targeting with this? Rend is so bad it took you a good 5 seconds to even remember his name. Yeah. So I don't know about this card. It seems a little niche. You can destroy an Etheron. You can destroy Lotheb. You can destroy quest rewards. Luna. Patches. Yeah, you can destroy patches. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think any deck would play this on purpose. I wish Big Game Hunter cost this much. Herald of Lochalong. 4 mana, 3/5, Battlecry, draw a Frost spell. I can't decide how good I think this is. So we're looking at it in Shaman, although I guess they did just give Warrior a ton of Frost spells for some reason. And they gave Mage has Frost spells. Better ways to tutor Ice Block. Decks that want Frost Nova probably want Ice Block too. Is there any like really good build around Frost spell? Ice Fishing. Snowman. Defreeze. That's really it. Oh, that's so funny. It's so funny. Like, okay, so mostly Mage has the Frost spells. Mostly Mage has the Frost spells. Hunter has had 1. Now it has 2. And Warrior is the 3rd Frost class now. It's like the 3rd biggest Frost class now is Warrior. So like, is 4 mana, draw Ice Fishing, Wind Chill, or Invocation of Frost, or Frostbite maybe, is that good? 4 mana, 3/5, no taunt or anything, and then go fetch one of those good cards. It's good enough for Reno Shaman, maybe? Yeah, maybe. And like Primal Dungeoneer has this text in a Frost deck, right? So 3 mana, 2/3, draw a Frost spell. Is that good? I think 3 mana, 2/3 is better than 4 mana, 3/5 as far as getting the effect. But these stats are good. Like 3 mana, 2/3 isn't good stats for cost. 4 mana, 3/5 is good stats for cost, right? It's not even that good. This would have to be a 4/5 to be good stats for cost. Or a 3/6. I don't. This doesn't seem like I'm a big doubter on this. I feel like it's a little too honest. It goes and finds you a good card, but no matter which of the Frost spells it finds you a good card. But I think in Wild, if you're playing a 3/5 on 4, it has to do more than just draw a card, I think. Humongous Owl, 7 mana, 8/4, Beast, deal 8 damage to a Death Rattle, deal 8 damage to a random enemy. Okay, so you could play Big Priest with this. And just lose. I don't know. This is a card that people are going to play for the fun of it, and it's not going to be any good. Ice Revenant, 4 mana, 4/5. Whenever you cast a frost spell, gain +2/+2 elemental. So if you play this on 5, it's a 6/7, and you freeze something and draw a card or clear something. 5 mana, 6/7, draw a card, freeze something. I do wonder if I might be undervaluing this. But it's probably not good, right? It doesn't trade well into giants after one spell, and you need it to. It is threatening. Yeah, and you can just play it and then, like, freeze afterwards if your opponent didn't have a board already. I'll probably end up playing with it at some point, but I doubt it's any good. Not sure if 6 frost spells are enough for this. So you run Ice Fishing, Wind Chill, Invocation of Frost, and then the 2 from the Elemental. But yeah, it's true. It's like not good unless you've played one. Ice Hoof Protector, 6 mana, 2/10, taunt, freeze any character damaged by this minion. Yeah, seems pretty yucky. Iron Deep Tog, 1 mana, 1/2. After your opponent casts a spell, summon a copy of this. So, how good is this? It's after, so if it clears this, it doesn't get it, right? Most of the Trogs that have come out have been kind of bad. Hey, Maxie. Most of the Trogs that have come out have been kind of bad. The ones with these, like, after your opponent casts a spell effects. But this one is really early on. So if you just play it on 1, and your opponent wanted to do, like, coin things, it gets a lot weirder. You buff it once, and then it's possibly getting out of control. Good in Embiggen Druid? Yeah, but is it better than other things that are good in Embiggen Druid? I don't know. This might be really good. It also might be terrible. Ivus, the Forest Lord. 1 mana, 1/1. Battle Cry. Spend the rest of your mana and gain +2/+2, Rush, Divine Shield, or Taunt at random for each. You cannot get a keyword that you've already gotten. So once you have all 3, you just gain stats. When I first read this, I thought it was +2/+2 and one of the keywords. And even then I was wondering how broken this was. So, like, when I read it that way, I thought, well, this is going to be really good, but how good is it? And since it's like keyword or +2/+2, I don't think it's that great. Is it standard playable? Let's see. If you play it on 3 mana and you get Rush and Divine Shield, you have a 3 mana, 1/1 Rush, Divine Shield. If you play it on 5 mana, let's say you get all 3 keywords, that is a 5 mana, 5/5 Rush, Divine Shield, Taunt, and that starts to get pretty good, right? No, that's with 5 mana that you've used, so that's a 6 mana card in total. I think this card's a little honest. A little too honest to see play. Corbett thinks this is super bad. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Doesn't look very good. What about 20 mana? Let's see. So with 20 mana, you almost assuredly get the keywords. So 16, so it's a 32/32. It's a 33/33 Rush, Divine Shield, Taunt. Or you could have, like, killed your opponent with 13 mana 7 turns prior. This is kind of like Ziliax if Ziliax was bad. Let's see. So Ziliax, 5 mana. If you get all 3 keywords, it's a 3/3 Rush, Divine Shield, Taunt. I don't know. I don't think this is very good, even in standard. Knight Captain, 5 mana, 3/3, Battle Cry, deal 3 damage, Honorable Kill, gain +3/+3. So how good is a 5 mana, first of all, Blackwing Corruptor in complete shambles? Don't need to have a dragon in hand, and if you kill something, it has better stats than that. Making a 6/6 to kill your opponent's cannon on 5 doesn't seem good. Kobold Taskmaster, 3 mana, 2/4 Battlecry. Add 2 armor scraps to your hand that give +2 health to a minion. I think this card is really good in Reno Quest Mage if Reno Quest Mage is ever a thing again. Like, this is better than any of the banana guys, right? In general, health tends to be better than attack in a defensive deck, and this has more stats than the one that just adds bananas to your own hand and doesn't add bananas to your opponent's hand in the one that has the same stats. So I think this would replace the banana cards in Reno Quest Mage, but Reno Quest Mage is not a deck. So there you are. Korok the Blood Rager, 4 mana, 3/5, Death Rattle. If this wasn't honorably killed, resummon Korok. I think this card is really interesting. So you have to like deal exactly 5 damage to it in order to kill it. So a lot of the time you're probably going to get a few Koroks out of this, or your opponent's going to have to like overextend to kill it. Hey, I killed it memes. That whole expansion is in shambles now. Blackwing Corruptor, Blackhand, true. You don't have to deal 5 damage. Yes, you do. You don't have to deal it all at once, but you have to deal 5 to it. So yeah, I don't know. This is interesting. Especially because, like, if your opponent doesn't have an easy way to deal the 5 on their turn, you have a lot of power over just trading this off in the way that you want it to, coming back to your own turn. And like, Broom exists, so you can trade this off and in a way that makes it come back, and then Broom it and trade it again to get another one. So I think it has potential. Seems pretty easy to clear. Yeah, it might be a little too honest for Wild, but it also might be the type of thing that you play with an effect. Like if you get if you play it with what's the rogue card, the draw Death Rattle that costs 4 or less and trigger it. If you you summon a Korok if you play that card, don't you? Oh, this is like a Greatest Dynamancer that costs 4. It doesn't require you to have discarded another one with Umbra. It's cute. I don't know. It's at the very least, it's gonna be fun to toy around with, but it might actually be something. Legionnaire, 6 mana, 9/3, Death Rattle, give all minions in your hand +2/+2. They printed this out at 9 cost once upon a time with +3/+3. With effects like this, you need to like cheat out the Death Rattle, right? You can't just like play this on 6, honestly. So I would say the other one is still better. Lakrogba, the Ice Lord. So 10 mana, 8/8 Elemental. Rush Wind Fury costs 5 less if you have 15 health or less. There is a deck that values 8/8s and Rush and Wind Fury that is built to delete its own health total. So Pain Lock, Even Lock. Man, is it even just like a good anti-aggro card? Do you just run this in everything? Like, if you're running a defensive deck, do you just play this every time? Like, just in anything? In Hand Buff Warrior seems okay. Like, you could play it in LPG and then just play it on 5 because your opponent's already dealt 18 damage to you. I think this is just a really good card that's going to see play in everything that has a slower game plan. Piggyback Imp. 3 mana 4/1 Demon, Death Rattle, summon a 4/1 Imp. Is removing 2 things good enough on turn 5 to not die, though? Often. This does nothing. Popsicular, 3 mana 3/3 mech, Death Rattle, freeze 2 random enemy minions. When I first saw this card, I thought it was a battle cry, and I got really stoked. I thought this would be really cool. As a Death Rattle, this is terrible. Although, you could play it in Rogue and be sad that this is in your deck. Ram Commander, 3 mana 2/2. Oh, 2 mana 2/2. Battlecry, add 2 1/1 Rams with Rush to your hand. Quest Rogue, right? Now you have 2 cards with this effect, and this one is much better once the Quest Rogue is activated. So as good as Quest Rogue is as good as this card will be. Hand buff? Maybe. Hey, Shadow. Reflecto Engineer, 3 mana 2/4. Battlecry, swap the attack and health of all minions in both players' hands. Maxi in absolute shambles when Maxi's shark gets ruined. Maxi, that game in the tournament where you found lethal even after having lost both of your sharks was really cool. I don't know, like, this doesn't do anything, right? Like, it's good against Shark, and it's good against Frog, and it's good against Doomsayers. No, that's, like, nothing, right? 4/2 Flamewaker. Beautiful. Broken. It breaks Octobot, too. True. The turn after the Octobot comes down. Don't bring this to Tech versus me in THL, thank you. Yeah. So I think to play this, you have to care about your own hands. Is there 8/8 to 8/8? Yeah. Is there anything that's like not good because its stats are wrong? Can you think of anything you could play in your deck that like it's good? Like, it would have been good if its stats were reversed, but it's not, so it isn't. I think this card may help me achieve my dream of using Void Callers for a finisher. Leroy? Stormwind Knight? Alakir? Alakir is cute. So yeah, he has 6 attack now? Or he has 6 health now, so it would be 6 under this. Stormwind Knight. Is that a 3 mana 2/5 charge? Alright. Oh, it's 4 mana. Rhino. Ooh, lots of Rhino cards. So that turns your Dire Moles into good Rhino stuff? The new 3/7 Death Rattle Priest Minion? I don't know. So I think if you care about swapping your own Charge Hunters coming together. Inner Fire Hunter Fog, yeah. They were talking about Void Lord Maxi, I think. So if you care about your own minions getting swapped, I think this card has potential. If you're only using it as a tech card against like Spirit of the Frog and Spirit of the Shark, then I don't think it's worth it. Sneaky Scout, 2 mana 3/2 stealth, honorable kill, your next hero power costs 0. If you want a 2 mana 3/2 stealth for its own merits, and then the honorable kill is an upside. I could see this in like standard. Not so much in wild. Snowblind Harpy, 3 mana, 3/4, Battlecry. If you're holding a frost spell, gain 5 armor. I have some hope for this in Shaman just because the elemental exists. So the elemental is going to add frost spells to your hand during your Shudderwalk, so your Shudderwalk will gain armor as long as it happens in the right order. Man, it's just really good in like Mage. I think this is a good card. I think you can build your deck around it. It's might not go in everything. Like I was thinking about putting this just in like Galacrons, like Shaman. But maybe you don't have enough frost spells for that. Maybe you do. I don't know. You could also run double ice fishing, and then this gives you value out of your second ice fishing. So you're like more likely to draw ice fishing in time when you need it because you're running 2 copies, and then the second one is not a straight up dead card because you care about it because of this. Spammy Arcanist, 5 mana, 3/4, Battlecry, deal 1 damage to all other minions. If any die, repeat this. So this is a neutral minion that has Defile as a Battlecry. When I look at this, I see a 5 mana Defile or a 5 mana Godfrey. So like the fact that you get to like develop a 3/4 while you Defile is nothing to scoff at. But it's also 3 mana more than Defile. But every class can play it. So it's not just a Warlock card. I could see like a Reno Shudderwalk wanting to play this card. I could see LPG wanting to play this card. It's also Defile that can be played under Loatheb. I don't know. I think this is a good card. This will see play in something. 5 mana Defile is garbage. I mean, yes, but it also makes a 3/4 and can be played under Loatheb. I don't think it's garbage. I think there are decks that would play it. It's just maybe those decks aren't strong enough on their own. But like, we've played 7 mana Defile before. So like 5 mana Defile, but every class has access to it. I think there's potential there. Stormpike Marshal, 4 mana, 2/5 taunt. If you took 5 or more damage on your opponent's turn, this costs 1. Took 5 or more damage on your opponent's turn, this costs 1. Isn't this insane? As an anti-aggro tool against like Shadow Priest and Pirate Warrior and stuff. If this card is meta, then like Pirate Warriors and Shadow Priests are going to have to think about doing just 4 damage, which I think is cool. Lest they get 1 mana 2/6. Godfrey starts with 2 damage. Yes. Godfrey's effect is 2 damage better than Defile. It's true. But this one is like 2 mana cheaper, which is extremely significant. So it's in between Defile and Godfrey. I think like this card has potential. If we look at the spectrum from which Defile effects are playable in one class, and then put something right in the middle of that spectrum and put it for all classes, I don't think it's hard to see the potential of this card. Stormpike Marshal. So 4 mana, 2/6. If your opponent dealt 5 damage to you on your last turn, this costs 1 mana. I think aggro decks frequently deal 5 or more damage to you in a turn. And even like, you know, this is easy tempo against Like Odd Hunter, because they're going to deal 5 damage to you in a turn throughout the game. So you just get a 2/6. I don't know. I think this card's good. Good in Evenlock, maybe? Stormpike Quartermaster, 2 mana 2/2. After you cast a spell, give a random minion in your hand +1/+1. I don't know that I saw this one before. I have no memory of this card. So you can, like, go in with your Sorcerer's Apprentice and this, cast a bunch of spells, and then have the biggest Flamewaker in the next turn. What else can you do? Is this a Libram Paladin card ever? I don't know. It's a 2 mana 2/2, so I don't have like high hopes for it or anything, but like you could almost just run this in hand buff, play it on 3 with Crystology. Ulti will OTK. I believe in you. Ignite, but you also have a boar. Replace the Flamewaker with a charge menu. Oh, alright. So you run this and Stone Tusk Boar and Sorcerer's Apprentice. Or Miracle Priest. Priest also has Sorcerer's Apprentice. So you run this and Radiant Elemental and a Stone Tusk Boar. APM Priest back. Tower Sergeant, 4 mana 4/4. If you control at least 2 other minions, gain +2/+2. So what deck would want a 4 mana 6/6, and would that deck be able to play 2 other minions on 4? Seems a little honest, but maybe some kind of cute minion deck in Standard would want it. Hey, Veets. Troll Centurion, 8 mana 8/8, rush, honorable kill, deal 8 damage to the enemy hero. So this is like the Inquisitor Demon Hunter card if the card was bad, right? Hey, what are you trading this into that has 8 health? A giant, but then this dies too. Good in arena because of Moargs. Vander. Oh, that's the end. All right. Well, hope you enjoyed the review. I look forward to being extremely wrong on everything that I said about all of these cards. I hope you guys do too. Remember to post on Twitter about the one card you got right and how right you were. And just forget about like the 20 you were wrong about. I know I will.